Hello, welcome to the session on an overview of a working group site. What we have here is a sample working group site for the Singapore conference. What we like to talk about is how to navigate around this site and how to interact with the information that is available. This is our Singapore homepage, which consists of several different web parts: announcements, events, participants, shared documents, minutes, and presentations. Web parts are just windows into lists or libraries within the site. Down the left-hand side, we have what's called a quick launch menu. This is navigation that is specific to this conference site. We have several containers shown: lists, which would consist of announcements, events, and participants. Lists are just items that are shown in a browser on a screen, whereas documents are containers for files such as PDF, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint files. To navigate around the working group site, you can use the quick launch menu to go into a document library, and you can see the additional details rendered within inside of this library. To return back to our working group site, we can use what is called the breadcrumb trail, which appears directly below the main global navigation, but above the document library label. So we can click on a Singapore conference to return back to our working group homepage. As you might have noticed, when you're in the shared document library via the link on the left, we had the same list of files as what is shown in our web part. Once again, this shared documents web part is just a window to information inside of this library. If we were to click into the events list using the web part title or the link in the left-hand side, we would see the full list of all events in a grid sheet view. We have a couple of options within here. We can switch to a day view, a week view, or a month view. And to view a particular event detail, we just click on the title for that particular event on that day. To return back to the calendar, we can click Close. And now we can proceed with selecting a different option, or once again, we can click on our breadcrumb trail to go back to our working group homepage. In previous posts or help and training videos, we have covered how to work with documents inside of a working group site. But as you can see, there are links throughout the working group sites to add new events and add new announcements. Please refer to the training videos for uploading documents and working with lists if you've not done so already. To return back to the Perplexity Participants extranet from our working group site, once again, we can leverage the breadcrumb trail. This takes us right back to where we begin once we've logged into a working group site. If we need to return back to a working group site, we can just use our navigation menu across the top. The recycle bin within inside of the working group site is the repository for files that have been deleted by you. If we go into the recycle bin, we can see we have a variety of different types of items stored in here, from documents to list items. To restore an item, we just place a check next to the items we wish to restore and click Restore Selection. If we want to permanently delete an item, we place a check mark next to that item and select Delete Selection, and we will receive a secondary confirmation prompt. We click on our Singapore conference link and our breadcrumb, and once again we are taken back to our working group's homepage. A few other advanced pieces of information are if we click on participants in the left-hand side, we're taken to a very long comprehensive screen of all participants for this working group site. We have the option to page to the next set of 100 contacts by clicking the next arrow. We also have the capability to click on a column heading to do filtering or sorting. By clicking the heading in the drop-down menu, we have the option to scroll through the list of contacts and select one. This helps us narrow down the list to find the specific person or persons that we wish to contact. To clear our selection, we just click the drop-down menu and say Clear Filter from Last Name. Other options when working with lists and libraries are the ability to click views and create views or modify views. If you are an advanced administrator, you have the opportunity to create new views, which is just a representation of information for this list. That will be covered in a later topic. If we click on events, we can see that we have the grid view once again. But if we want to view a list view, we can click our view drop-down menu and select all events or just current events. This takes us to a traditional list view of all items. We can easily toggle back to the grid view by just choosing the option from the view menu. This concludes our overview of how to navigate around the working group site.